This is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Definitive Edition. We're doing a comparison. On the left we have Xbox Series X, on the right we have Xbox Series S. So this is the optimized, upgraded version of the game. These comparisons are a ton of work, so liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well. And if you're wondering about the two sides, kind of the car perspective being a little bit off, don't worry, that'll get matched up later. If you notice that there's any time where things kind of like don't get perfectly aligned, there'll be a quick little transition, everything will get aligned again. I'm showcasing a variety of different scenes, from driving to running around, stuff like that, just trying to show off the different visuals. So the biggest thing to note here is that the game does have two performance options, a fidelity and a performance. So we're mostly showing off the fidelity mode with a bit of a performance mode showcase that will pop up briefly, and you'll have that on the top of the screen so you can take a look at the difference between the two. So the Series X and the Series S versions of this experience both have, again, similar options. There's supposed to be HDR support, but it seems like HDR might have been turned off or something like that, or it wasn't quite working when I was going back to do some reshooting stuff for the Series X. So there is supposed to be HDR support. I don't know if it's a temporary thing. Obviously, they've been doing a lot of changes to this game, so your mileage may vary. So on the left, we have the fidelity mode, which will provide us with a dynamic 4K resolution scaling. So that's like 1900p-ish. Again, it's going to vary based on like updates and stuff they keep doing to change the game and hopefully make it run better and, kind of get up to spec. So this is at 30 FPS. On the Series S, which is on the right for the fidelity mode, it's 1440p at 30 FPS. Then there is the performance mode. So on the Series X, the performance mode is again dynamic, I think 4K, getting up to like 1800p at 60 FPS. So it's very weird. Again, it's going to be like, varying sort of, visual stuff between the two. We'll talk about that a bit more. And then on the Series S, it's 1080p at 60 FPS. So yeah, there's like HDR type issues, other little bugs here or there. There's some problems with this one. So I'm assuming as they clean things up, we should hopefully get closer and or more perfect to our targets. I did notice it just seemed like there was performance issues no matter which mode you go for, which side you play for, just in regards to either console. I did notice that the performance mode tends to perform a lot better. I mean, having that higher fluidity level is really great. I think it's a big benefit. And I just noticed on fidelity, it seemed like when I played it, that there were more performance type problems with that one. So hopefully they get smoothing this all out even further, and hopefully patching and fixing things in this one. As yes, there are many problems and stuff that they need to touch up. And I tried to line up the time of day and the weathering the best I could. It does seem like, random rain can come in and kind of mess up with that. So, yeah, there's also always the small little things of angering someone in traffic or starting some sort of weird conflict that kind of gets you thrown off a course. So I did try my best to get that lined up. So, obviously the Series X is giving you a bit more of a visual experience. It does look a little bit sharper and stuff like that, but they're semi-comparable in regards to, the overall experience, no matter which one you go for. This is more of like a remastering of the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas experience, so it's not like they really revamped this one, right? It's supposed to feel like the original, it's just supposed to look better and handle better, which is, to a degree for most, I would imagine, a little bit debatable. It does have better draw distance, and you can see the, lower resolution textures beautifully between them. Keep in mind, for performance and quality, there are going to be scaled back elements for both of them in regards to, the quality of the experiences. But I mean, they both do come across as being quite similar. It's mostly just going to be the sharpening of the imagery. And I think the biggest thing is going to kind of be the performance mode almost kind of, between the two of them seems to be like a huge gap in regards to the visual quality of the experience. So that's kind of interesting. Whereas fidelity, I almost feel like on the Series X they should be getting a little bit of higher bounds. Like, I mean, it's pretty close to the full amount, but yeah. So it's mostly like, 400p kind of being the big fidelity difference between the two, give or take depending on the scene, right? whereas, you know, performance, we're getting like a huge like 700 something p difference, which again is going to greatly impact the resolution fidelity of your world. But either way, you know, it's something that needs to get touched up on, it's something that needs to get worked out, and I do anticipate that hopefully over time, as they continue to adjust this, that we do see more and more out of this game, and we do get a cleaner and more, you know, better overall experience. So I don't have any other details to kind of talk about there. You'll see some more different scenes. This is going to be, you know, kind of the driving sequence along the coast, and then it'll go over to a bit of a running through the town sort of sequence, because I was trying to show off, you know, as much of the different areas as I kind of could, and then kind of line them up, and these seem to be easier stretches where I could line stuff up and everything like that. So I hope you enjoyed this look at San Andreas, the definitive edition. I do also have a comparison showing off the Series X version versus the kind of backwards compatible 360 released version of the game. So that one is now delisted. So now it's just, this is the version of the game that you have available for you. Once again, liking, great. Subscribing is great as well. And see you in San Andreas.
Watch out! Give me that. You get dealt with for that, huh?
Look where you're going.
What is your problem? Oh, I know what it is to suffer.
Get the hell out of here! I didn't do it! Los Santos is a baller's town.
It better pick up around here soon.
You smell bad! Hey, man, don't be bumping into me, man.
You gotta get out of my way!
Press ruined me. Never wrote about me at all.